As I get older and the longer I stay single, I'm starting to run into this dilemma of internally asking myself, should I just settle for someone or should I continue waiting for the right person?
This is a such obvious yes, settle. But the problem is here is the term settle, where you're not settling in a circumstance like this. You're getting what you can get. Let's switch relationships to jobs, for instance. Now, you can apply to any job you want. The only recipients, the only people who are going to respond to you trying to get said job are those who feel you are qualified. You can only get a job, you can only get a boyfriend you are qualified for.
And I feel like from the outside looking in, this is such an obvious, like, no, don't settle. But what I've been struggling with is having such a clear vision in my mind of the kind of person that I want, to where sometimes I feel like I'm almost pushing prospective partners away because they don't fit that image that I have in my head. And I don't mean that just in a physical sense, I mean that in a complete, like, embodiment sense.
Having standards, preferences, and what you like, nothing wrong with that, okay? The only problem is with boys and girls, the problem arises when people start to have now too many standards, too many boxes to check. And as she continues to say, the total embodiment. Now, this is a problem because this means not only does a person have to check every single box, they have to check all of the boxes or they're going to be disregarded. This is a big problem, and it's a problem for young women and women everywhere, where if somebody doesn't check all the boxes, they're totally disregarded. Guys, the idea is to have preferences, things we want, things we think we need, and we want to find a person who can check the most of them, because you're never going to find a person who is 100% perfect. There is no relationship that is magic, butterflies, fireworks. You walk in, there's no problems, and everything just goes smooth, and they're perfect, and you don't have to work for it. Doesn't exist.
Because deep down, I know that I'm going to be that person where when I find my person, like, he's stuck with me forever type of deal. I'm not in the mood to just keep jumping around from person to person. But I do wonder, like, am I missing out because I've said no to certain people in the past that maybe could have been good for me? But at the same time, it's like, I know what I want, and why would I allow myself to settle for something less than I know that I deserve?
I can't stand these words. Settle, deserve. Nobody deserves anything. We all work hard for what we get. You get what you get what you've worked for, you get what you're qualified for. Nobody deserves anything. Just because I am who I am doesn't mean I deserve some girl to fall from the heavens into my lap. This mentality, this ego, this arrogance, this audacity is what is killing women.
And I think the reason that I keep holding out for this ideal partner of mine, because I do know that he exists. Like, there's an ideal partner out there for everyone.
This is where she's correct. Notice how she says an ideal person, not perfect. This is why we have to be careful with our words. There definitely is an ideal person for everyone. Is there a perfect person for everyone? No. Perfection in the human world does not exist.
Is because when I was in middle school, or at least a freshman in high school, I remember I was talking to one of my friend's moms at the time, and this has stuck with me since that day. She was like, you are going to have the most amazing love story. And those words are what keep me going in this journey of trying to find my first boyfriend.
This is where the video takes on full-blown delusion and full-blown insanity. So you based your relationship possibility, your relationship future based on what some mom said to you when you were a child. This is crazy. Crazy. If someone came up to me and said, you're going to be the president of the United States when I'm a kid, and I let that morph my whole future, and I just, I'm going to be the president. And that's it, because somebody told me when I was a kid that I'm going to be the president. This is insane. Come on.
Because I do want to have an amazing story. I want to tell people how my partner and I met in the most unexpected way. At this point, I want to be the person who has only had one boyfriend, who has then become their forever partner. And honestly, after waiting this long, I feel like I just owe it to myself to continue waiting until I do find that person that lives up to the standard that I have.
And honey, you're going to keep waiting, and I can guarantee it. You know which girls have amazing stories like this? Disney princesses. That's who. This doesn't exist in the real world. If you want this to happen, if you expect this to happen, you will be waiting forever. Forever.
It's just hard during those days where I see all these couples around me and I'm like, oh, like I could have that. I'm just choosing not to. But I have to continue believing that there's a reason why I have not met the person for me yet. And who knows, maybe I have met him. But it is just a scary thought sometimes thinking about am I waiting for a non-existent person when I could have already found someone a long time ago? Which I'm not choosing to feed into that story, but sometimes that is where my mind goes. Because out of 7 or 8 billion or however many people there are in the world, there has to be at least one out there that fits my ideal for a partner. And I know I'm gonna find him.